So here it is, one of the few vehicles that really get me excited. It is the 2024 Hyundai IONIQ 6 in the limited trim level, which is the highest trim. So I have a video on the SEL, the SE, and now the limited. And this is in a matte silver. The actual color name is Gravity Gold, which I don't really understand the gold part because I don't see any gold. I just see silver, and it's like a matte silver. It looks fantastic. So I have it set to where to unlock the doors and all that stuff when I approach the vehicle. And check out this interior. It has the light interior. This one has the ambient lights as well. And yeah, really nice. Brightens it up. Looks fantastic. Plenty of room here in the back seat as well. And once again, looks good. You have the ambient lights back here. So you have the ability to move the vehicle as well. And check out these lights here in the back. There's the reverse lights. I'm using the key fob to move it backwards. You see the brake lights are also on. This little brake light here at the top, looking nice. Parking sensors are active. But yeah, the vehicle looks great at nighttime and during the day. And if there's anything in the way, it'll stop because that's parking sensors, but also if you let go of the button, it stops immediately. So I was able to drive this vehicle for about a week now, and I've already did like a full overview on the base model, the SE, the SEL, and this is the limited, which is the highest trim. So the price significantly increases, and it does have additional features. This is basically maxed out. And what's interesting about this vehicle, the IONIQ 6 is one of the few vehicles that I personally get excited about because it's such a well done vehicle. And if you like the looks, some people like it, some people don't, and I understand that. But if you like the looks, as far as driving this vehicle, it is so smooth, quiet, comfortable, fast, sharp steering, just very planted on the road, and it's just a very pleasurable driving experience and riding experience. Passengers love riding in this vehicle. There's tons of room here in the front and the back, so the back seat is very spacious. So yeah, this is just a great vehicle. So you can see it has these little Morse code for H here, so that's kind of neat. It's illuminated, and when you plug in the vehicle, it'll illuminate and kind of show you the stages of charge. And then you have the different brightness. So you have right now I have it set to the brightness, the daylight settings here. But you can set these for the dark background as well, and not have them popping out from the black bezel here. So they'll kind of blend in a little bit more. So here's what the nighttime view looks like on the screens. So it switches over, instead of the bright, you have the dark here. And you can change this to where it's during the day it looks like this as well, and I kind of prefer that. I love the way the shifter is integrated here, so you don't have to have this, like shifter, big shifter here in the center. This big compartment here is really handy for putting stuff. This area right here, I'd probably have more open, maybe utilize this space a little bit better. I think it's fine, but I'm just being picky because this is one of my favorite vehicles. So, I have to find something that I would potentially change about it. And it has this light gray interior, and I'm kind of more partial to lighter interior. So this light gray looks great. And, so yeah, this material right here. So like this is a simulated leather material, and then you have this. It kind of looks like a canvas. I don't know if you can tell that, but it's actually smooth, like a vinyl type material, but it looks like a cloth. But when you feel it, you can feel it's a material that's easily cleaned and wiped off, and it looks good. This compartment has the USB ports there. It does have a big illuminated glove compartment. And this one has the ambient light here, and it has the ambient light here on the door, which casts a shadow on across these little ripples in the door as well. This one has the sporty looking pedals. I like the way this handle it's like a pocket as well, and it goes all the way from the top to the bottom, so that across the entire door. And then you have this pocket here at the bottom as well, and it has like this translucent material. One thing I would probably upgrade, maybe a little bit better sound system. It is a Bose sound system, and it looks pretty good. It sounds very clear and everything, but maybe a little bit more power, maybe a little bit more, you know, bassiness to it. And I like the way it has the drive modes right here, so you can quickly change, because there's a significant difference in the drive modes. So the top one here, Eco, is you know, you're not going to get very fast acceleration. It's going to cut back on your climate control. Normal is pretty good, but Sport gives you a really good punch as far as the acceleration. And of course, it has the snow mode. Now, this is the all-wheel drive long range. So it's like 260 miles to a charge. And it's a fast charging vehicle. So it's an 800 volt system. You're able to charge really fast at a fast charger, and charging at home is no problem, obviously. If you don't have any experience with electric vehicles, it's not a big deal as far as charging at all. So yeah, everything looks good, feels good, and works good. And that's the thing, my experience with Hyundai is that it has a lot of features, but they also work. A lot of other vehicles have a lot of features, but they don't work, so you turn them off anyway. Automatic high beams, the headlights worked really good. The exterior illumination is good. The interior illumination is really nice. So the seats are very comfortable and soft. Have a little bit of a bolster without being too intrusive. Just really comfortable. Plenty of space. And these are heated and ventilated seats. It's a 3-stage system on both heated and vented. It also has a heated steering wheel. And the screen is really easy to use. The physical buttons down here make it even easier, because you can quickly go to settings here. It has a physical volume knob. It also has useful knobs here on the steering wheel for the cruise control. One button, you set it, you turn on your lane keep assist system, which works really well. Here on the right side is just your volume for your radio, change to the track, stuff like that. Then the paddle shifter is really handy for changing through the Regen system. So when you release the accelerator and it's just coasting, you can have it fully coast to like 0 regen, or you can have it on level 1, 2, or 3. But you also have, let's go ahead and increase this. You can see level 3, and then there's max. So this would be iPedal. So this would be similar to like a one-pedal drive type thing. But with the iPedal, all you have to do is use the accelerator, and when you let go of the accelerator, it will stop the vehicle. Now, of course, if you need to stop faster, then you, of course, use the brake pedal. But the iPedal is, you know, handy for certain scenarios. I personally like the Regen to be, let me put it in park, to be in level 1. But if you hold the right paddle shifter here, it's going to go into automatic. And when you're in automatic, you can have different levels of automatic. So that's really handy as well. So the Regen is really working well. There's a lot of customization there, and it's easily changed, because it's depending on your traffic conditions and your driving area where you're driving. You might need to change your drive mode quickly. You might need to change your Regen quickly, and it's right there on the steering wheel. It's very easy, you know, just like adjusting the volume on the radio. It's one of those things where you might have to do it frequently. So it has these little shutters right here that open up when it needs cooling. So right now it kind of changes the way it looks sometimes when those open up and close. But you can see the front of the vehicle is just completely made just to channel the air around for efficiency, aerodynamics, that kind of thing. And then it has these pixelated lights. So here in the front, the amber lights. It has projector headlights, which you saw in my night video. I did a night video on the SE, and basically this has the same headlights, and it works perfect. It looks good at nighttime, and you can see down the road perfectly, and it's just a great working system. When you lock the vehicle, these will go flush with the vehicle right here, and that way it's better aerodynamic. But they pop out when, I have it set to where they pop out when you approach it, and then that way you can just open the vehicle like so. So it's pretty cool. Looks very sleek when they're closed. And then here in the back, kind of looks like a Porsche in a way, the way it has that spoiler with the LED brake light integrated into it. Gloss black, and then you have more of those pixel lights back here. The reverse lights are down here at the bottom, and they work pretty well because there's 2 of them. But yeah, it's pretty good. And also it has the backup camera integrated nicely here. Wish it was in the very center, but it is close enough, but it's integrated well. Has the parking sensors here in the back as well, front, back, and it basically has like a 360 picture around the vehicle as far as the camera, and it's able to, you know, help you avoid obstacles, that kind of thing. This shark fin antenna over here is kind of translucent. I don't know if you can tell that, but you can see the little stuff inside. And the charge port is here on the passenger side. Has a power door. And it has a little light in here. Can't really tell right now, but it does have the fast charging, DC fast charging. And yeah, it's really, really fast. Getting in and out of the vehicle is such a pleasure because the swing of the door is nice. The opening is really nice. There's a flat floor here in the front. Back door, same thing. You have a really good swing to the door. Wide open space. Completely flat floor back here. I mean, it is completely flat and wide open space. So it's just as far as like a passenger, it's so easy to get in and out, and you have lots of room. You can see nicely bolstered seats here, nice and cushy and soft, feeling good. There's this armrest that folds down. Charge ports back here, a little cubby. And there's the net pockets on the back of the seats. Check out these wheels. I mean, they look fantastic to me. That gloss black with the polished aluminum there. Of course, it has a clear coat over the aluminum. I think they look really good. Now it has a power trunk, and press that button, open it up. But I would, me personally, if this was a hatchback, it'd be so much better because the opening is a little bit small for my needs. So when I'm accessing my equipment and stuff, it's a little bit of a pain, not a big huge deal, but if it was just a little bit bigger or a hatchback, it would be a little bit better. But it does have the power trunk, which is convenient. Under the hood, there is a small compartment, and it does have a little light in it. But I would reserve this space for just like things that you don't access all the time. So if you were to put some kind of roadside assistance or roadside kit, reflective triangles, stuff like that, where maybe some gloves, things that you wouldn't necessarily normally need, but you might want to access sometimes, that's what I would use this space for. Because the front of the vehicle gets, dirty and gets bugs and all that stuff on it, and having to pop the hood and then come over here, release the hood and all that stuff just to access this regularly, it's a little bit inconvenient. So, man, I love this color. Catch it at a certain angle, the sheen, the color, the style, really impressive. Here's what the ambient light looks like, and I have it set to like a purple color. You can see it there in the back. Here in the front, on the doors, and you can see it kind of shines on these little ripples on the door. The bottom part is illuminated, and that translucent plastic kind of shines through that as well, looking really nice. Then we have like a little strip right here going on. This is what the driver's door looks like, and you can see some stuff in the pocket, what it looks like when there's stuff in there. Kind of illuminates it. But we can customize the color and also the brightness. So here in the settings, under vehicle settings and then lights and then ambient lights, you can have these dim at dark. So if you want these to dim down a little bit while you're driving at night, you can also control the brightness here. So I have it maxed out. We can bring it down. So there's like level 6, there's level 0, we can turn it off. So there's 1, and then all the way up to 10. So we can do the brightness. We can also link it to drive mode. And let's just go ahead and change the color as well. So you can have like a polar white, moon white, ice blue, it's very white, light colored blue, ocean blue, it's a deeper blue, jade green, orchid green, Freesia yellow, sunrise red, oh that's nice, aurora purple, lightning violet, and then you can customize a color. So the customized color right now is like a yellow color, and you can go in here and set custom color. It has this color wheel. You can set what you want here. You can go to a pink or whatever. There's a pink. So yeah, you can set a custom color, and then anytime you choose custom color, it would be that one that you set. You can also have a dual color. So there's these different presets here. Concentration, healing, different things like that. So we'll go into concentration. You see it's a blue and green combo. Healing forest, yellow and green. Wonderful day, which is a red and a kind of like a different white there at the bottom, I guess. Mind care, this is what that's called. And the next one is meditation. Creative moment. And then there is a custom dual color in which you can choose what you want here. So set custom color, and then you have the upper and lower. So there's two color wheels here. So we'll just kind of randomly hit different spots here. And then we'll go back. So when we go to custom dual color, that's what we got. Like a red and blue is what I just hit. So yeah, that's pretty neat. The different ambient lights in the vehicle, and they look really good. And don't forget, you also have these same colors are in the back as well. The sound isolation is really, really good. So let's just roll down the windows. And there's not much exterior sounds right now, but we'll see as we go down the road how quiet this vehicle is. So let's go put that back into the main screen here. And let me turn on the, well, let's go ahead and put it in reverse. If we put it in reverse, camera system is excellent. We can see all the way around the vehicle. There's a slight disconnect on the stitching between the four cameras, but it's not a big deal. You can still see around the vehicle. You see the back, you can see this kind of view right here, which is pretty cool. You can also look at that when you're driving like this. Kind of give you, it even turns the little wheels and everything too. But it doesn't show the brake lights. Some vehicles show the brake lights when they have this type of thing. But yeah, it's the camera system is really good. And so that they're also cameras, when you put the turn signal on, it shows you your blind spot camera here, as well as the blind spot detection system, which is separate and has little indicators on the side mirrors, and it'll give you an audible alert if you put your turn signal on when there's a vehicle in your blind spot. When you're going slow, there's a little bit of a noise that it projects outside the vehicle, just to kind of let people, know that there's a vehicle running or whatever. But it's not really a big deal. Turning radius is really good. I can whip this thing right around. So if you can hear that noise, that goes away once you reach a certain speed. All right, so I'm gonna roll the windows back up. You can still hear it a little bit in here. And I have it in sport mode now. Let's put it in eco. Let's go to normal. And the all-wheel drive system, it mainly uses the rear wheels unless it needs the front wheels. So if you accelerate fast, it'll go ahead and use the front wheels as well. But if you're just kind of normal driving, it will use mostly the rear wheels. So like right now, we're just kind of starting out, so it's using the front part as well. And then now the front just fell off. Now we just have the rear wheels. So even in normal mode, we have great acceleration. I mean, ridiculously fast acceleration, seat-pinningly fast acceleration in sport mode. But still, for the average daily drive, merging, passing, all that stuff, normal is plenty of power in this vehicle. Eco's a little bit, you know, a little bit disappointing at times. So if you really don't need eco, I mean, I enjoy the acceleration sometimes, and also I don't need all the range. This vehicle has way more range than I would typically need. So on a daily drive, I don't use that much. You know, it might get down to, you know, 50-60% charge. So it's not like I have to preserve the miles. So I can, you know, enjoy some climate control, and I can enjoy the acceleration and stuff like that. So yeah, that's the thing. If you know, unless you really need those couple extra miles, the eco to me for this vehicle just kind of takes away from the driving experience. It's still fine if you're just kind of cruising with the cruise control or whatever. It's not a big deal. But just kind of, if you're driving like this, you're driving around in traffic and everything, then you just kind of want that little bit of extra power. And also the good thing about electric vehicles, if you've never drove one, if you've never driven one, then it has this smooth, linear, like the acceleration is not hindered by changing gears. It's not hindered by revving up the engine to get to the right RPM range for you to accelerate. There's all these things that an internal combustion engine has to do to accommodate for its shortcomings, and in doing that, you don't necessarily pay attention to it until you drive an electric car for a while, and then you get back into a gas car, and then it has all these limitations. You're like, hey, wait a minute, they stand out more, So I got it in sport mode. Let's see what it feels like. So yeah, that straight line, right off the line, 0 to 60 acceleration, very satisfying. But even if you're cruising along at, 30, 40, 50 miles an hour, even 60 miles per hour, and then you need that acceleration, you got it. There's no hesitation there when you accelerate in sport mode, for sure. Really like that blind spot camera. Pops up. Okay, so let's go ahead and put it in normal. Set the cruise control. Go ahead and set that. Go ahead and bring it up to 60. Turn on the lane keep assist system. So just cruising on the highway. Don't have to really do too much. Holds the lane nicely, it doesn't fight with you. It doesn't have grip sensors though, so sometimes it tells you to hold the steering wheel even though you're holding it, so you have to kind of jiggle it a little bit. It's not a huge deal on this vehicle, but it does do that sometimes. If it had the grip sensors, it'll be a little bit better. The visibility is nice too. Like just looking out the windows, rear view mirror, sides, here in the front, it has small pillars. So it's easy to see all around you, basically. It's really good visibility. Not to mention, you have the camera system, blind spot detection system, rear cross traffic alert, parking sensors, all that stuff. That's mostly when you're, driving slow, but driving on the highway like this is still good visibility. It's just so smooth and quiet. It's so great. And it has a fairly decent the wheelbase is kind of long, so that kind of helps out with the way it drives on the highway and stuff like that. If you've ever driven in a short wheel base vehicle, it kind of has like a little bit of a rocking to it. This one's more smooth because it has that longer wheelbase. mostly notice that like in 2-door Wranglers, that kind of thing. Another thing about the cruise control, the adaptive part, it has different stages. So there's up to 4 different distances, and the 4th distance is very far, which I like that. Sometimes you just want that extra space, you know. So you can kind of fine tune it the way you want it. And even the closest distance isn't really like tailgating people. It's still a decent, safe distance. Some vehicles, it's just too close. Even at the far distance, to me, sometimes it's too close. So this one has a really good broad range of distances. So, you know, you feel like you're in control of the distance. And also, it's always a safe distance. There's no, like, you know, tailgating people distance that you can accidentally get into. So you can see it holds the lane pretty good, even these little curvy lanes like that. It says to keep my hands on the wheel, obviously. I just want to show you how well it does. Just follows along. And you see, just kind of cruising like this, we're rear-wheel drive only. There's the Regen right there. And let's bring the Regen up a little bit. And this is in automatic mode right now. So you can really put it in some serious Regen in automatic. I don't prefer to have it so aggressive. So I'm going to put it in level 0 is like free flowing. So that's really good for the highway. But just around town, I put it in 1. It has this little visual right here where it shows the lanes and it also shows the distance and if there's a vehicle in front of you. And as you change the distance, it'll kind of have that little bar change. Going over some bumpy roads right now. The lane keep assist system works well, even though the lines are just terrible. It's like one line and the other one's not even there, and it's holding the lane fine. And all the bumps and everything. Okay, so at 65, once again, nice and smooth, comfortable. There's like very little wind noise. Just a tiny bit of road noise. But overall, I mean, it's quiet in here. Like, I don't have the radio playing, I don't have the climate control on. And so the camera's probably making it sound a little bit louder than what it is. It's like pretty quiet at 65, you know. The exterior noises are kept out, and I hadn't really had a problem, you know, like you having a conversation with somebody, you don't have to raise your voice or anything like that. And the system, the lane keep assist system, once again, you know, it just makes it so much easier to drive. And it's the full speed adaptive cruise control, so if the vehicle in front of you comes to a complete stop, it will stop your vehicle and then continue when they take off. So yeah, stop and go traffic and all that stuff is once again made it easier. In pretty much any condition, I've driven this in the rain, I've driven it on dry pavement, anything like that, and it's just like no, like at full acceleration, there's zero, there's no slippage of the wheels. It stays like glued to the ground. A solid feeling vehicle. And the suspension handles the weight well as well. So it's like it's not going to, it doesn't like flip up too much, and it doesn't nosedive too much when you brake, and cornering is nice and flat. So yeah, as far as that goes, it's really nice. To me, the most enjoyable driving experience is in electric cars, unless, you know, maybe a standard drive here and there. But as far as like me driving normally without aggravation, and I just want to have a nice comfortable ride, the electric cars definitely are the best right now, and as far as I'm concerned.